You're listening to the Podcast Detroit Network. Visit www.podcastdetroit.com for more information.
This episode of Breaking Down the Ring is brought to you by Chawla Legal Group Estate Planning. Estate planning is for everyone. Whether you're worth $4,000 or $40 million, estate planning can help protect you, your family, and your assets while you're alive and well. Damn. To register for an upcoming workshop today, go to chawlalegal.com/workshops or call 586-273-7157. Again, that's chawlalegal.com/workshops or call 586-273-7157.
What the rock is cooking.
What the fuck is up, everybody? It is Breaking Down the Ring's last Wednesday ever. Nobody can hear your mic right now because I don't open them up just yet. Nope. So, but we're gonna be here talking about a bunch of man. There's so much wrestling that's gonna be happening on broadcast TV the next couple of weeks. We're gonna talk about Raw. I'm talking about SmackDown. I'm talking about NXT. Just all the shit going on. No Mikey this week. I'm gonna be hosting this shit, and I got a bone to pick with Pro Wrestling Scorecards. But we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that as we.
You don't know what hard times are, Daddy.
The cream will rise to the top. Oh, yeah.
Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass. You just made the list.
This right here is a family.
Hey, this is professional wrestler and professional podcaster Colt Boom Boom Cabana.
My name is Killer Cross.
This is The Smoke Show, Scarlett Bordeaux.
What's up, guys? The After Machine, Brian Cage.
This is Ryan from Pro Wrestling Tees.
Sadly, you are not listening to the art of wrestling, but you made a decent choice because you're listening.
You are now listening to...
When you're listening,
And you're listening to
You listen to Breaking Down the Ring.
Breaking Down the Ring.
Breaking Down the Ring.
Breaking Down the Ring.
Breaking down the ring. Break it down.
Oh, it's true. It's damn true.
Wait.
Is my mic?
Bam!
Can I fucking talk now?
All of them are on.
Can I talk now?
All right. So we're here tonight on our last Wednesday at Breaking Down the Ring. We're going to be moving.
It's a ring crew. We got to introduce ourselves still.
We're getting there. We're going to talk about all that and more. We are your fucking ring crew.
Z. I am the one, the only, the smighty, almighty Smitty.
And I am the all Nike one.
All Nike one.
The small-handed assassin, if you will.
I love it.
We are the most inappropriate fucking pro wrestling podcast this side of Bailey's butthole.
Which I would love to be in. Left or right?
Whatever
What
one you
side
want.
of it?
You make the choice. It's up to you.
I'll be in all of it.
It's
a large area.
So I do have a bone to pick with Pro Wrestling Scorecards right now.
Gee, what could it be?
If anybody is watching the live stream right now, as you can see, a couple of our ring crew members are currently wearing red Pro Wrestling Scorecards.
Oh, shit. We're matching. I didn't realize
T-shirts.
that now.
T-shirts.
Wait, hold on. Let's talk about that really quickly. I ran outside, changed my shirt, came in, he goes, oh, you got one too, and he just realizes that we're wearing the same fucking shirt.
No.
No.
He
goes, oh my God, I just so we match. So when he ran out,
to show up.
can't even blame it on being colorblind because we'd still be wearing the same color shirt.
We both have green shirts on.
I know when he ran out, I thought there was something like we had this conversation before we went on air.
So let me explain here. So Pro Wrestling Scorecards, we love these guys. Go to ProWrestlingScorecards.com. You can check them out on their Patreon and their Facebook. They do basically fantasy football for wrestling. You can blah blah blah. You've heard about it. If you listen to the fucking show, you know who they are. So anyway, so we go to StarCast. These guys are there. You got Daniel and his girl, who I'm actually not going to name because it was probably her fault.
Wow, blaming it on the no-name girl.
Yeah.
Are we crispin wanting her? We're crispin wanting her right now.
Well, we have a rivalry going, her and I. So
Really?
yeah, with the scorecards.
Oh yeah.
But you beat her already.
I was
You
gonna say,
beat-
see, when
You Chris Browned her already.
when me and No Name we faced off, I won, so I didn't really have to pick a battle with her.
I did too.
Both times.
I'm keeping it going.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
why you gotta pick
you
on the
Chris
girl?
Browned her already.
That's just what I do. So apparently everybody on the podcast got a T-shirt from Pro Wrestling Scorecards, but as you can see, I'm not wearing one.
Well, just because you're not wearing one doesn't mean you don't have one.
I didn't get one
You want me to tell you why you didn't get one?
because I wasn't there.
Correct.
Fucking-
You weren't. Daniel actually meant to come back and get your shirt size. And one of two things I think happened. Either A, I took the last 2X, or B, he just forgot about you.
So did they have enough to go around?
I don't know because he literally, like, me and Smitty and Joe were sitting at the table.
Yep.
And he walked up to us and asked us our shirt sizes. I mean, it was either him or Mikey.
Yeah.
He asked me and Mikey because they were like, we got X amount of 2XLs, X amount of XLs, one large, and Joe got the last large.
Okay.
Yeah, so they did kind of, I want to see you and Mikey were off doing interviews when it happened.
That's me. Yes, it was because you and Mikey were out doing interviews. It was me, you, and Joe at the booth.
Yeah.
So it wasn't Sunday.
It was,
no, it wasn't
it was,
Sunday. No, it was Saturday.
It was like late Saturday before everything.
And
closed
also,
down.
it might be my fault because I might have taken the last 2X.
But let's say they had.
All right, that's our show, guys. We'll see you in a couple weeks on Sunday. Yo, it's really not a big deal. I just love giving people shit. But it's really cool of them that they did give you guys shirts. And you know what? I will go above and beyond, and I will actually go to Pro Wrestling Tees and order myself a shirt.
You just really nice shirts, man. I love the wolf pack.
I love the mystery shirt. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not trying to plug Pro Wrestling tees right now.
Yeah.
But the mystery $7.99 T-shirt, well worth the spend every time.
I did it. I got a really cool New Japan shirt.
I got a really cool British Bulldog shirt, but it looks like an old school boxing shirt.
Banzai.
So it's pretty cool.
Oi.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I say British Bulldog. He does the Yokozuna.
And I said Banzai was for him, and he said New Japan shirt.
So, at any rate, we're here. This is our last Wednesday. It's bittersweet at Podcast Detroit.
It is not. I am so happy to not be doing this
Dude,
on
I am
Wednesdays
too.
anymore.
I told Tracy before I left, I'm like, man, I'm so glad I don't have to fucking leave on Wednesday nights anymore.
Right. I can get up Saturday or Sunday morning, do this, and then be on with my day.
I'll still be at home before the first quarter of the Lions game ends.
The other thing about Wednesday, I thought it was really convenient because I work in the bar industry, just like Mikey and who's pretty much one of the guys that kind of comes and does most of the stuff and makes all this stuff.
Well,
and I understand Wednesday be a convenient time.
Well, yeah, for your guys' schedule. Your guys' Wednesdays like mine and Nick's Sunday.
Fuck your 9 to 5.
Right.
How about this? Fuck your 9 to 5, nigga.
You know damn well this shit ain't always 9 to 5.
So, I mean, we are moving to Sunday mornings starting October 6th.
11 is 1,
11
right?
to 1. You can catch us same place we've always been, Studio One.
Same bet time,
You're gonna be
different
able
bet
to-
channel.
You're going to be able to download it on Google Podcasts, iTunes, wherever the hell you get your podcasts. We're almost on Spotify. We're not there yet, but we're going to be there soon. And that starts October 6th. So next week we won't have a show. So you can catch us for our big show, the 6th. That's the same night as Hell in a Cell. We're going to make our picks. Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, that's such a long day.
That is a long day. And you know why it's a long day? That leads us to my next point. That night, we'll be at Buffalo Wild Wings at 6 o'clock for the Breaking Down the Ring Hell in a Cell pay-per-view event extravaganza. Super happy fun time. Coca-Cola USA #1.
Did you just R-Truth our fucking viewing
I
party?
sure did.
Goddamn right. It's awesome.
Smitty versus Z in a ladder match for the something. But yeah, we'll be at Buffalo Wild Wings downtown
We have fun
Detroit
with
that night. The night of our first episode. After we're done here,
The morning?
No, after we're done here, we'll go downtown Detroit and have a fucking ball for that pay-per-view event. Come downtown, no cover, order some food, hang out with us. It's gonna be
Are the
awesome.
Lions home that day?
They are not. They're actually
They're not.
off.
Oh, perfect.
First bye week. Yep.
Sweet.
Is What do you mean first bye week? It's only bye week.
Well, yeah. Sorry.
Well, no, they normally get a lot of bye weeks after week 17.
That's right.
It's like bye week.
So, first thing I want to talk about, we actually don't have to talk about it a whole lot because we kind of did last week.
Wait, half
Smitty
second.
has a question.
By the way, good game to you, Nick. From our fantasy football.
Smitty, suck a dick.
Hey, look, you guys are wearing matching T-shirts.
Yeah, Smitty did come back and win this week in fantasy football against Smitty. So,
No, he didn't. Smitty's meat's lost.
Hey, look, you're
but
getting
the-
Smitty's meat beat, motherfucker. How about
the
that?
rapists or whatever his name is.
It's a different rape theme every week.
The fact that it's a rape theme, period.
What was it last week? The rapes of wrath.
Tonight only on Smitty'sMeats.com. Use the code word RAPE for 20% off.
Rape Kool-Aid.
There goes all our viewers.
They are just
All.
dropping like flies right now.
Yep. We had 8, now there's 1.
Yep. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate that. If you
Allison, I know you're watching and listening. I know you'll spread the word.
So check this out. So let's talk about NXT from last week. We did talk a little bit about the first hour with Roderick Strong winning the the North American Championship.
That second hour was pretty solid, too.
That second hour was pretty good. I watched it this weekend. Walter coming out.
Yeah, that was right at the beginning of the second hour where
Yeah.
I don't know who was in the ring. I've never
It was
heard
it was Imperium.
No. I'm not talking about. Okay, I'm talking about the guy that came to the ring to have a match. He was wearing like MC Hammer.
Oh, yeah, the
wear
jobber.
pants.
Yeah.
I don't know what
I
his
don't-
name was.
Nope.
But then all of a sudden, Alexander Wolf, 2 guys I've never seen.
Yes, you have.
Or I've never seen Archer in person. I've only heard about him. And who is the other guy?
So you have Fabian Archer and fuck now I'm blanking on his name. I'm drinking.
It's Fabian Archer, Alexander Wolf, and
Fuck, I know his name. It's on the tip of my tongue.
either way, like 3 big motherfuckers too.
Yeah.
And then
They
Walter's music hits, and then he does his little intro into "We're Imperium" and whatever the fuck he says.
Yeah, some bullshit, some dude.
And then out comes fucking Kushida, Marty McFly, to save the day.
That's his gimmick, by the way.
I know.
That's the gimmick they give him in NXT, but it was not the complete gimmick in New Japan.
Speaking of Kushida, apparently on tonight's NXT, Walter is going to be challenging Kushida to find 2 partners for a 6-man
3.
tag match.
I thought it was 8.
I saw 6.
All right.
It was Imperium versus Kushida and 3 mystery partners.
Okay, so 8-man.
Yeah.
But this leads me to
Pretty strong style. That's something I thought.
a question about: is this how they're going to fill that 2-hour slot? Like bring some of the guys from UK in, you think, and make the UK title a permanent title on NXT TV?
I wouldn't be surprised. That gives him another title to throw on the air, and
it gives the UK guys some exposure.
and people are really high on that UK brand right now. So,
I would say-
I've from what I've seen, I've liked. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't turn it on a whole bit, but when they do their takeovers and stuff, I definitely give it a
yeah,
watch.
for sure.
I'm a 50-50 thing on that. I think they're going to use this platform on the USA Network to promote the UK brand, just so we can get more eyes on there.
But the UK guys didn't come out until the second hour. That wasn't on USA.
Once
Correct.
again, but also this is one of the things like, okay, with NXT being on the USA Network, using that second hour where usually it's always NXT guys, where they
Normally there's not a second hour, so you got to fill it somehow, right?
Yeah.
but NXT also has a roster which is filled with guys that are not used on a regular.
Right, but that's the problem. They're not. I don't.
But maybe this is a way they can use the
Mainstream?
UK.
Yeah, they're like the mainstream UK guys. You bring up like the people that people know already. You bring up to be like, oh hey, he's over here now. Like I want to watch. You know what I
Right.
mean? It's a way to draw people in.
Okay, do you know what the 2 things that were advertised for this week's NXT on live television were?
Other than the word rate being 20% off.
Was it Leo Rush?
Yeah, no. So the two things that were advertised for NXT's live television on USA, the one thing that was advertised was Killian Dane and Matt Riddle a street fight.
Yep.
Winner gets a shot at Adam Cole.
A future shot. It doesn't necessarily mean it'll be right away.
But the second thing that was advertised, which was not given as much advertisement, is Dominic Dijakovic versus Keith Lee 3.
I thought, didn't they? Okay. So the street fight is supposed to headline the first hour, and then I think.
Nope, Kushida and his mystery partners versus Walter and Imperium is supposed to be headlining.
Is headlining the televised?
No, they're televising the NXT part.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, okay, so the first hour is on USA. So just like last week, like to end the first hour, you had the title match. That was your main event of the first hour. Kind of like old school Monday Nitro, where like the first hour was the cruiserweights, and then the end of the first hour was like the main event for the cruiserweights, and then the second hour they did like the mid card, and then you'd have like a mid card main event at the end of the second hour. Then you have your main guys for the end of the third hour.
I would imagine it was Riddle and
because that's the one they've been advertising. So that's going to be
right.
on TV.
Yeah, for sure. Because they want to get those guys
and
over.
then Keith Lee and Dominic
Dijakovic.
Yeah.
They were probably like the women's Fatal 4-Way last week.
Yeah,
where they opened it up.
They were also promoting Dakota Kai's return tonight too. So,
but
I saw that a couple times.
I did. I saw it
Now-
twice, and I really wanted to see that.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to kind of space both those matches out because the Killian Dane Matt Riddle street fight is going to essentially be the same kind of match you're going to get out of Dijak and Keith Lee. It's just going to be a hard hitting
Dijakovic.
Right.
I call him Dijak. It's easier.
I like it. Sounds like a Bruce Willis movie.
Dijak off.
So that will be happening tonight. If you've watched NXT, maybe comment on the video. Tell us what's happening in that first hour, what's happening right now on the network. Speaking of the network, they did have some problems last week that a lot of people were commenting on online. Not really a shocker. I mean, you're having everybody watching on USA, and then boom, everybody transition over to
You're gonna overload a server.
Yeah, you're going to overload it. And I mean, come on, I guess WWE should have expected that, but you know,
But
a lot of people miss 45 minutes of the whole
But
thing. Man.
now that doesn't make sense to me because your server should already be built to where all these people watch your pay-per-views on the Sundays.
Right.
So I can't imagine as many people flipped over to watch NXT as would say like Hell in the Cell or Clash of Champions or WrestleMania. So why now?
True. Yeah, they should have expected the huge turnover. They should have been prepared for that.
Yeah, right. It should have been prepared 100%.
But I've been seeing people having problems with the network as a whole ever since they transitioned to this new format.
Oh, I hate the new format.
Yeah,
So Mikey likes it. I wasn't here last week, so
he did make mention of it last week.
I like the look of the new platform.
Yeah.
I don't like the navigation of the new platform. It was easier to navigate on the old platform.
I would agree.
Especially with like previous watched or, like now, and maybe there is a section, but I haven't seen it. There's no like continue watching section on the new platform, or at least there wasn't on the first update. And it really screwed me up because I always I'll start a pay-per-view, watch about an hour of it, and then I'll go back to it.
Yeah.
But now I have to literally go in, type in the pay-per-view, and it'll when I go back to it or search it, it'll start me from where I left off, but I can't just go right to it anymore.
Right. And one thing I didn't like about it right now is that I did get an error during the last pay-per-view. I just went to watch it. I mean, I started watching it at almost 10:30 at night, and I clicked play, and it wouldn't play. I had to restart the whole app after 5 minutes of me trying to get it to work for it to work. And then another thing is that I noticed, and I haven't gone through too many pay-per-views, but on the old platform, you could skip to the beginning of a match and skip to the end of a match.
Oh, the little dots.
The little dots, yeah.
Unless there's a Chris Benoit match, and then there's no dots.
Or Hulk Hogan.
You're like, oh, no, that's back on the network. Or it was before they switched platforms. But yeah, that was my favorite too. Well, now hold on. On the new platform, you can do that, but instead of dots, it's it'll list like little, you know how like if you're watching YouTube, it lists like all the videos under it.
Yeah.
It'll list like skip to this match, skip to that match, and you can click on those and it'll jump you forward. But I like the old style better, where it's like the start of this match, the finish of it, and then it would
start of this promo.
Then it would give you the last 5 minutes of the match,
Right.
and then go into whatever.
So there's some things that they do need to work on. Maybe eventually they'll kind of work out the bugs and they'll listen to feedback, because WWE always listens to people's feedback.
Except when it comes to their shows.
Yeah. So moving on from that. So
next point.
I think we could talk about, since SmackDown was on last night, we can lead into SmackDown's results from last night.
I thought SmackDown was a solid show last night.
It was all right. It had its moments.
Solid. Not good, not bad.
I want to talk about Kevin Owens. We'll talk right about Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon. So Kevin Owens last week ended up serving Shane McMahon some paperwork that he wants to file a lawsuit for
unlawful termination.
Unlawful termination. $25 million lawsuit. He was in the crowd. All that good stuff happened. So this week, Shane McMahon gets his team of lawyers, comes out to the ring and says, bring Kevin Owens out here. Kevin Owens comes out from the crowd, and even though he's fired, he had his entrance music playing.
No, Shane told him to play his music.
I didn't catch that. Okay.
Yeah, Shane was like, all right, come out here, Kevin. I'll even play your music for you.
Okay. So Kevin Owens comes out to the ring, and Shane makes him an offer. You know, if you decide to drop the lawsuit, then I'll go ahead and I'll wipe the slate clean. There's no
reinstate you, fines,
no fine, none of that. Kevin Owens calls him an idiot, challenges him to basically a win or go home ladder match. If Kevin Owens wins, Shane McMahon leaves WWE, vice versa. Shane wins, Kevin Owens fucks off, and he leaves. Are you guys sick of this at all? Z?
Yep.
Yeah.
My first thought was, before they announced it was going to be a ladder match, when he was like, I got a better offer for you. Me and you won last time. And I was like, you already did. You did Hell in the Cell. What was it, last year? 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Yeah, that's when we were at.
Yeah, and that's when Sammy pulled him off the table and whatever.
Sammy made his heel turn.
So they've already done the Hell in a Cell thing. They've done all the other matches. I liked where this storyline was going when it was Kevin Owens just beating up Shane McMahon and randomly stunning Shane McMahon. Like,
awesome.
That was cool. It would that would get old and boring too, but it was still kind of cool. Whereas Kevin Owens kind of looks like a little bitch right now.
A little bit.
I get it. Like, for storyline purposes, I understand why. But like, even like him getting beat up from behind by Shane McMahon, like, he said it himself. Shane doesn't belong in this ring. So how did Shane take you out? So like, that throws me off. But the Kevin Owens in his indie career, when he was Kevin Steen, he excelled in ladder matches. So even though I am sick of this, I truly hope this is the end, and I kind of like to see what kind of freedoms they give him in the ladder match.
I like that too, and I like a good ladder match. Smitty, what do you think?
I was not as upset about it as Z is, because I feel like this is going to be the end. The end. I've been sick of this whole Shane McMahon on television thing for a long time now.
All right, but if
this is the out.
Yeah, but then.
Oh no, Kevin's got to win.
Right, but what if Kevin loses? Even if Kevin wins,
makes no
you don't
sense.
think Shane's gonna like have some kind of repercussion? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, is this really the end of it?
No, this has to be the end. It literally does. It has to be the end of Shane McMahon on television. It has to be the end of this feud. It has to be just the end. Because if anything goes any further, you've killed any and everything you've done with this whole feud. The build up, everything is just for naught.
Well, and I think a lot of people, I brought up a point before. You have heels like Baron Corbin that I fucking hate him, but I don't mind seeing him on TV because he's a great heel. But Shane McMahon, I want to turn the fucking TV off because I'm so sick and tired of seeing him, and not because I hate him, but just because I'm so tired of it.
He does not need to be like Kevin Owens' whole promo
Even
going into all of this.
The locker room.
You
feels the same
don't
way.
need to be on television.
Right.
I'm not tired of seeing Shane on TV. I'm tired of them putting Shane in the same feud with a different wrestler. Like him and The Miz was the same thing.
Yeah, I see that.
He gets a couple cronies. You know what I mean? Like it's the same shit we've been seeing for years, but that's part of the problem with Shane is you can't really do too much else with Shane.
So
like Shane either has to play this role or not be on TV.
Right.
I was initially upset with the whole Shane Miz feud with him going over and Miz not get his comeuppance. But
Comeuppets?
Yes, I said comeuppets.
Comeuppet babies.
Comeuppet babies, yeah. So with the whole thing with him and Kevin, it's like this is where I say it has to end. If it ends completely, I'm okay with everything with the Miz. I'm okay with everything here. But this literally has to be end of Shane McMahon. If you pull it on to anyone else or drag it on any longer, fuck it. You just nothing. Shane McMahon's just Shane McMahon's like Stephanie, where Stephanie will hit or do whatever when she can with any guy, but there's no repercussions. Whatever happens with her because she's a McMahon. Yeah. Fuck it. You need to give a McMahon a consequence.
But do you? I mean, that's that. But for all the reasons you're sick and you hate them is what makes them good heels. But the problem is sometimes you have to take them off TV for a while. Like Stephanie's been off TV for a while.
Yep.
So when Stephanie comes back, she'll get a little bit of a pop. She can do her little two-face little thing with some new superstar, and it's cool, but then she'll go away again. Mm-hmm. Shane has just overstayed his welcome. And not saying that he's not welcome, but in the position he's in right now, like, and it really makes no sense because they kind of like 86 authority figures on TV.
Right.
So why is Shane like
an authority figure?
Yeah, like to the extent where, see, I was thinking the way this feud would go is he'd fire Kevin Owens. And then eventually like Vince would come out and be like, no, you're dumb. You're fired.
Uh-huh.
You know, like that's the way I saw it going. As far as ladder match, yeah, whatever. I mean, Shane likes to jump off a tall thing, so
yeah.
And then Kevin, like you said, Kevin Owens excels in ladder matches. If you watch any ROH back in,
but a lot of the moves he used to do in ladder matches, like his package pile driver,
that used to be his finisher.
He can't do it anymore. So,
well, you know, Kevin's going to carry a lot of that match. I mean, Shane's just, there's no way.
It's a Shane McMahon match. A lot of people carry Shane McMahon.
Yeah, so.
He's like Jesus' crucifix.
And now that is scheduled for next week's Fox. That was announced today, the Fox premiere episode. We'll talk about that more in a minute, but more about last night's SmackDown. Big waste of time match for me. The New Day taking on
the B team.
The B team. Fucking giant waste of time. I don't know what the hell they're doing with the B team. I don't really fucking care at this point.
I think that was more so a thing to get commentary over. Like, oh, so with the draft coming up the week after our new SmackDown, the New Day may get broken. The B team may get broken up.
Yeah, but the the B team's your established jobber. Yes. So they're like, you know, local jobber. They're like a step up from them, but at any point in time, they could win a match. They were tag team champions at one point. So, I mean, I don't really care what they do with the B team.
Yeah,
both of them seem happy where they're at.
Honestly, another spot on SmackDown, I really like when the commentary went over like these things can be broken up. What team these needs to be broken up?
My favorite
Kabuki Warriors.
My favorite thing about SmackDown was George Kittle fucking photobombing every time they would cut to the commentary.
Yeah,
he'd be in the back like waving like this. I stopped it a bunch of times and made Allie watch it, and she started cracking up because he was like making faces and shit.
After the New Day match, they jumped out.
That's what brought that up.
Yep. Yeah, that was. I love seeing celebrities in the crowd. I love when I see the Impractical Jokers. I see them and those fucking guys are nuts for wrestling.
And you could tell that like George Kittle was an actual fan. Like all the other guys sat down. George Kittle got up.
He's up there like
New Day.
Yeah. He's over the hips wheeling. Like,
he's got his Rock T-shirt on from '96 and everything.
Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan are going to tag team against the Artists, formerly known as the Bludgeon Brothers, at Hell in a Cell. That match was made official. Is Daniel Bryan a baby face again?
He has to be.
Not yet. Not
yet,
not
but
officially.
Yeah.
Not yet, but he has to be, because if you do pull this swerve, I hope they are not trying to pull to where Brian's pulling the strings. You've killed everything you try to do with Rowan.
Where who's pulling the strings?
If Brian's pulling the strings behind Rowan and Harper, you've killed everything you try to do with Rowan at this point to make him a single superstar.
Yeah.
I think they already pulled some of the rug under him by putting Harper back with him.
Can I ask you guys a question about that match?
Sure.
So there's a spot in that match where Daniel's on the apron.
Oh, the finish? The botch finish?
Hold on.
Yeah. So he picks him up from the apron and goes over the rope. And when you see him fall, you're supposed to land like in between your shoulders, and he lands like on the back of his neck, and then his foot gets caught in the ropes. And I rewatched this like 2 or 3 times because I was trying to figure out like if it was a fuck up or it was on purpose, because it looks like when he's getting picked up, it does look like Rowan struggles, which made me think it was a botch. But it does look like Daniel like hooks his leg around the rope.
Mm-hmm.
But the only problem is the thing that made me think it wasn't is it looked like they were about to break his ankle trying to get him out of that rope. Like they were about to have to take his boot off.
Yeah.
It was a botch finish.
And I was like, normally when that happens, like they plan it, like you can kind of telegraph it when you see it's about to happen, because they'll do like one of these and they can easily just get right back out. But no, his foot was like stuck.
Yeah, I thought Rowan was trying to get it out at first. Like it seemed like.
No, they all were trying to get it out.
Yeah, when it first happened, he was trying to get it out.
But so this is what made me think Daniel's hurt after too. Did you see the part where Luke Harper goes to like get Daniel Bryan up?
He lays him right back
and
down.
And then he lays him right back down, and it like goes on him. Like they had a conversation. Then he went out to the outside of the ring instead of like they had a different plan, and plans changed. Like I was like, don't tell me this motherfucker's got to retire again because he just landed on his head.
Yeah.
Oh no, it was an ankle. If anything, it's a sprained ankle. And it's like,
or Harper forgot, and Daniel was like, okay, like go out to the outside of the ring, and then Roman's music's gonna hit, so go, go, go.
So that match actually was really good until the botch finish. I thought the match was really good until the botch finish.
And I don't really care that they put Luke Harper back with Rowan. I just care that Luke Harper is back on TV and they're not making him look weak.
Right.
No, I think if you honestly, those guys have been together for so long. Putting them back together when you're trying to establish Rowan as a singles guy.
Who says they're trying? They're just trying to establish Rowan, period. Who cares if he's in a tag team? We need more tag teams right now. What are you going to do? Put Rowan in what title picture right now? None.
Honestly, you don't need to put him in a title picture at this point. Just build him up as the monster you want to build him up as.
So why can't you build him up as a tag team competitor? That's old school booking style. All right, dude's a good fucking tag team competitor. Now he turns on his tag team partner, or the tag team partner turns on him. Then he goes on a singles run. Like Bret Hart did it. Shawn Michaels did it. Like it used to be the formula.
Yep.
So why not go back to that? Like, okay, Rowan's a big guy, and turns out he can actually fucking talk.
Honestly, I was more impressed with his damn promo than anything else this week.
It's about time, It's about time that we see him get on the mic, and he's very natural, very fluid.
Even though some of his promo didn't make sense.
He's not a very good wrestler, though.
No, I thought
he does. I think he does too much in the ring. Like you're huge. You don't need to be doing like that like splash thing he does. It just doesn't look right.
Yeah.
I kind of disagree with that because, honestly, big men, people expect more out of big men now because of the way that wrestling is, not just in WWE, just around the board.
Well, he's definitely a powerhouse, but he doesn't have, Braun Strowman. I mean, while he's not the most athletic, but he is a very athletic big dude. Rowan isn't quite at that level,
But my whole point is they expect athleticism out of big guys still now.
Yeah, I mean you're not gonna get Drew McIntyre, that's for sure.
Oh right, no, and I'm just saying that. I'm not saying that it's bad. It just some of the stuff he does in the ring just doesn't look right.
Yeah, it's a little
Like kind of little
sloppy.
unorthodox.
Yeah, I think
Hell, most of the shit Cena does in the ring is not unorthodox.
Right, but that doesn't mean Cena. Like everyone says, John Cena can't wrestle, and Chris used to hammer this point home. Just because he does stuff that looks weird and has an unorthodox style doesn't mean he can't wrestle. It just means he wrestles differently, and it doesn't look like something you're used to seeing.
You just proved my point, right, with the whole Roman thing, right?
What thing? What point?
About the athleticism. Just because it looks unorthodox doesn't mean it doesn't work.
Oh, that's what I was saying. Like, I'm not saying he's a bad wrestler. I'm just saying it looks funny.
Yeah, he's a little clunky. So moving forward, actually moving backward.
I was like, can we talk about
We're talking about the Bukkake Warriors.
Oh yeah, the Bukkake Warriors. I agree with Smitty. That should have never happened in the first place.
I think that happened because they wanted to keep those women in a relevant place with Paige's neck surgery.
Yeah,
they just kind of got lost in the shuffle.
I can see that, but man, they really put the kabuki kibosh on fucking Asuka because she went.
And Kyrie when she hasn't done shit yet.
Both of them, they were up here, and then just slowly started tapering off, and then hit, no pun intended, rock fucking bottom. And now,
I love both of them.
Yeah, now they come out and they're fucking losing to.
They won actually
to Harlem Heat.
No, they won.
They beat.
Did they win?
They beat Fire and Desire.
Yeah, because there was
Kerry Sane hit the insane elbow.
So pretty much, Mandy Rose took a code breaker, and then Kyrie hit that insane elbow, and for the 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
I gotta admit, I rushed through SmackDown tonight before we got here. So,
I was gonna say I even skipped that match, but I didn't watch the finish.
I watched, but I watched all of SmackDown. I've kind of clip noted Raw though.
So with Raw, this past week, Monday, going backwards, was the season finale of Raw. And can I just say, I feel like I've heard them toss around the term season finale, season premiere before.
Oh no, because
but they're doing
what?
But they're doing it now because
no, it's
your premiere. You're debuting on SmackDown, so. Okay, at some point, like when you're watching WWE on Hulu or even anything that's not
any
the
platform
network,
is not the
it will
USA.
say like season 20, season 21, whatever. So okay, cool. We'll call it right here. This will be our new season. Normally, the season premiere is like the Raw after WrestleMania.
Yeah,
like WrestleMania is your year-end thing, and then you start building to the next Mania.
But Raw.
Why not do it now? Like, we're going to premiere on Fox, so fuck it. Raw's going to premiere, and hopefully with the season premiere, we get the difference.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a different setup, a different this, a different that. Like, we're premiering, so everything's going to be brand new. I almost guarantee they're going to lead in with a new entrance song and video package since all these superstars can't be on both shows.
Right. And that's the idea is that the reports are saying that we're going to start seeing changes to Raw and SmackDown, the look, the feel, the stage for both shows.
But do you know why that is? Because you can't treat SmackDown like the B show now.
Right.
Because they're on Fox now. They're on a different network. They need a different feel. They need a different look. You can't, and that's one of the things I'm skeptical about NXT being on USA Network. Because you can't treat SmackDown like that B show anymore. Where's that B show going to?
Yeah.
That B show feel going to?
Well, yeah, NXT.
NXT's been the B show, and they prove they're better than the A show.
But yeah, and that's the thing. I think.
But
that
once again, they
separates
never had that platform of the USA Network and being live week after week.
Okay, but we saw them live last week and again live this week. And the only changes they've made is they've widened around the ring and put the announce table by there. That's it. Everything else is the same.
Once again, this is also weeks 1 and 2 of a new introduced thing.
I'm just saying. They're trying to keep it as NXT as possible.
Okay, let's see how far they go. Like, let's say a month or 2 into this whole Wednesday Night War.
Okay.
And that's when I'll be like, okay, NXT is still NXT.
I think that the NXT thing is, I just get this different vibe.
Well, that's what you're supposed to get.
Well, when you had SmackDown against Raw, you had A show versus B show. now there's so many shows and so much overexposure.
A show, B show, C show,
We'll,
D show.
we'll
E
talk
show.
about the overexposure in a bit, but I don't feel like NXT is a B show. I just feel like it's another.
I feel like WWE would treat it
It's
like a
like
B show.
you got-
USA
I hope
Network.
they don't.
So the way I look at it is you have Division I college football. NXT is Division II. Like still just as good, but not quite at Division I level.
NXT's always been better.
Or
than
maybe
Raw.
like Big 10 and Big 12 and the Mountain West.
Yeah, that works. Yeah,
I mean,
I
either
mean,
way.
it's a bad. I mean, it's actually a good scenario because just like there's 186 wrestling shows out now, there's 100 and some odd fucking schools.
Right.
So
Well, Raw, we're talking about the look and the feel and the way they're changing things up. They kind of teased a new logo this
no,
week.
that's not a tease. That's a new logo.
I mean, it was nice.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah, it was kind of like a
So
little
pretty
bit of
much-
an arrow kind of.
instead of
pointing
the straight
down a
line
little
across
bit.
the bottom of Raw, it's like a downward
Even
hidden arrow.
some of the graphics for some of the matches were a little different and not what we're used to seeing. So
SmackDown too, because they
Yeah.
kind of flaunted that new Fox logo.
one, and it was reported too that it's going to be called WWE Friday Night SmackDown.
Yeah.
It's not just SmackDown. So, but for Raw, I mean, for me, I thought it was a pretty decent show. The Fiend at the end you had the main event Seth versus Braun Strowman in a rematch, just kind of like a grudge match.
Braun wins the title, right?
No, it was a grudge match.
Or no, not Braun. Bray wins the title, right? Like he has to.
Yeah, that's the idea. That's kind of how I
It's-
feel.
you have to do at this point.
Well, especially too. Okay, so Bray has been on the Firefly Funhouse posting these pictures of all these, wrestlers that he's
Legends
taken
and
down. And
guys,
now
yeah.
he can add Braun Strowman to that because he gave him.
That's
going to
be that black picture that he hung
Right.
up.
And Seth is curled up in the corner, scared shitless.
Yeah.
So
the only way Seth wins is like the Undertaker interferes, setting up their match at WrestleMania.
could be.
You got more time to do that. I don't think this is not the point where you do it. I think Undertaker cost Bray the title.
Well, what better place than fucking Hell in the Cell to bring back the Undertaker?
Survivor Series where he debuted?
But in what kind of match? Just a regular old match? Have the Undertaker come out? Like, no, it'd be better he comes up from the bottom of the ring at Hell in the Cell.
So lately they've been building Survivor Series like bragging rights. WWE champion versus Universal champion, IC champion versus US champion. Why not cost him in a match that doesn't cost him anything?
Well, speaking of that, somebody on our Facebook, Mike Garcia, says that breaking news, huge spoiler: Undertaker's come back next Friday on SmackDown to face Kofi for the title.
Okay, are you smoking crack, nigga? It's already been announced that it's Brock Lesnar versus Kofi Kingston for the WWE Championship. Put the crack pipe down.
But I think back to the Fiend thing. We talked about it last week. That there's no way that they're not gonna put the title on him at this point.
No, he keeps feeding little demon Vince money, so
Yeah.
it's got to.
Did you see that now you can buy those puppets?
Can you?
can
Yeah, the
buy a
puppets. No,
Vince
they're on
puppet.
shop now.
Yep, you can buy all 3 puppets.
Rambling
You can
Rabbit.
buy the mask, which looks nothing like the one that he wears. And they've got a couple shirts too. The shirts are pretty badass.
Oh, they got
Yeah, see, I
the
would
Muscle Man one.
No Muscle Man shirt.
Oh, damn.
I got
Do
the
Muscle Man.
I got the
dance.
Muscle Man shirt.
Okay.
I bought that.
So, I mean, I know I saw Rambling Rabbit and Abigail and Mercy the Buzzard. I saw all the puppets available.
One of them is a Vince puppet.
Oh, the Vince puppets available
Do
too?
you know why the bird's name is Waylon?
I thought it was Mercy the Buzzard.
Yeah, or I'm sorry, yeah, it is Mercy. Do you know why his name is Mercy?
Why is that?
Because he stole that original Bray Wyatt gimmick from Waylon Mercy.
Really?
Yeah, so all his puppets have like Huskers, his Husky Harris, his old, like all his puppets mean something in wrestling.
Yeah, his sister Abby is his sister Abigail and a Rambling Rabbit. I don't know what the Rambling Rabbit one is.
So that's going to lead into obviously the Hell in a Cell match. we're gonna see. I'm pretty much gonna assume we're all gonna pick Bray Wyatt to win that match on our scorecards.
Not now.
We did see some more additions to the storyline with Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch.
On both SmackDown and Raw, actually.
Now we're going to have Alexa Bliss versus Sasha Banks on next week's Raw. Now, apparently, from things that I've read, these two have real heat backstage. They don't fucking like each other at all.
They sit there and compare whose butt's better? Or what?
Yes, and hands down, Alexa Bliss wins that battle.
I hate to
Really?
admit that. No, Alexa's got a better ass than fucking Sasha. But Bailey's got a better ass than both of them.
I can see that. Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I can see that.
I'm a black man. I'm a booty expert. I'm a bootyologist.
So, another thing on Raw, Baron Corbin came out and had a rematch with Chad Gable.
With his Game of Thrones looking King of the Ring gear.
Yep.
Is he wearing like a fur coat?
Yeah, all fucking hot. And I was like, dude.
Honestly, like I said,
I would be
thank God they're doing
fucking
something with
sweating
Gable.
my ass off. In
You
that
know what
damn
would be
fur
good,
coat.
though? Is if they continue this feud with Gable. And just every week he ruins his fucking gear, so he's got to get new fucking King of the Ring shit.
So, by the way, I love what they're doing with Gable right now. I love the fact that they're continuing things with Gable after King of the Ring.
Yeah.
It's not like when Murphy got over, where they just kind of dropped him off after they feel like
Yeah,
he was done.
what happened to him? Did he get injured, or they just took him off TV?
They took him off TV.
Which is really shitty because everybody praised him after that Roman Reigns
And the
match.
Daniel Bryan match.
He beat Daniel Bryan.
Yeah. And, okay, well, we'll see you later.
They dropped the ball with guys
That
like
had
Murphy.
that had to be a Vince call.
Yeah.
It had to be.
Once again, like, I'm glad it's at least a week or two after King of the Ring, and they're still doing something with Gable right now. I still fear for after what they do after this, because Gable has gotten over. There's a lot of guys over the last couple months that have gotten over, and you've not done anything with them.
Well, they're doing something with Ali. Ali is one of those guys that have gotten over that.
No,
it seems like they keep pushing this new generation, but just enough to give you a
pull the rug
taste
out of
and
them?
then pull
Take
them right back.
Yep.
But, I mean, in Ali's case, Ali got injured. So, I mean, that's not really the company's fault.
Well, he got injured, and then after that, it's like people just get like the whole thing. Murphy got over right when he started to get another push. He's got almost like the Bob Holly kind of thing, where like whenever you start to get over, you either get hurt or somebody's more over than you are.
Yeah, but I think in Buddy Murphy's case, though, he's just a victim of circumstance because they threw him in there with this feud with Rowan and Daniel, and
he got over.
No, he did, but they weren't planning on going anywhere with him after it. So he did get over, but then it's like, all right, sit on the back burner. Like, that's where he was always going to go. It's not like they're like, oh, fuck you. It's like, no, you did your part. Now wait for your next part.
Yeah. No matter what you say, wrestling to a certain degree is still fan service. When somebody gets over, do something with them.
Plot twist. Buddy Murphy is really behind Rowan and Luke Harper.
Plot twist. Buddy Murphy is really the father of Maria Kanellis' baby.
And at that point, you've given us two other angles we can use Buddy Murphy for.
And then Maria's going to have the baby and Rowan is going to eat it.
Jane Snitsky style.
No, she'll give birth on air to a hand. They've never done that.
Never done that.
Sexual
That'd be
chocolate
weird.
style.
That'd be real weird.
Can it be a black hand?
Just a hand filled with KY.
Cedric Alexander is
be searching the halls looking for Cousin It.
Okay, so we've talked about Raw. We've talked about SmackDown.
All right, hold on. We missed a few things on SmackDown, though. Let's talk about the little backstage brawl between Becky and Sasha to end SmackDown.
Right at the end, yep. Becky with a little interview with, God, I don't even remember who
Charlie.
she was.
Charlie Caruso.
Charlie Caruso.
Charlie Caruso.
Yeah.
Love Chuck.
I knew you were.
Jesse said it's going to be a baby demon.
I'd be okay with that.
Finn Balor, shit, baby daddy.
Yeah,
I mean, that's really adding some more fuel to the fire with Sasha and Becky.
Well, no, at the end, Becky was left laying.
I know.
Which brings me to my question: inside the Hell in a Cell, Becky versus Sasha. Is it time for Becky to drop the belt?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So Sasha wins.
So once again, one thing they keep bringing up that actually gives a little bit of an edge, it makes more sense. Sasha has experience in the cell.
And so that means, is the Daniel Bryan match, Daniel Bryan, Roman Reigns, Luke Harper, and Roman,
it's tag.
is that inside a Hell in a Cell?
It's tag.
Just a regular tag.
Oh, fuck that.
Yeah.
They've already got two cell matches. Nothing
So
else is going
Seth
to
is going
cell.
to drop, Becky's going to drop. Oh, that's convenient.
Yep, go figure.
Honeymoon time.
Yeah, and they'll be gone for a while. I can see that. Putting them off
Well,
TV
see,
for a
they've
few
already
weeks.
got. Only thing they could do is maybe add one more cell match for SmackDown, and that's just to make this a legit.
No,
make
you
SmackDown
already
legit.
have two,
Oh, so you
and
think
it's
they're
the
gonna do more
main
than
title
two?
and your women's main title. Like that's
Well, once again,
that's plenty.
only thing you can do for just to keep SmackDown from looking like a B show is give them at least one cell match. Have 3 cell matches on this one pay-per-view.
Yeah, but now here's the thing. Okay, so you got Kofi and Brock Friday.
Which everybody's saying.
And then
that
Sunday, if Brock wins, does Brock face somebody at Hell in the Cell, or do we just not see the WWE title at Hell in the
I
Cell?
don't think we see WWE title. I think we may see a 6-man tag in a cell with the New Day, Randy Orton, and the Revival.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
But then does Kofi still have the title?
I don't think Kofi still has a
If
title.
it doesn't have the title anymore, does it even really matter?
It doesn't matter, but
I
I think because the feud they've built between the New Day and Revival, or Revival Arcade, whatever the fuck you want to call those retards.
The RKO.
Yeah. So whatever you call them, finish out that feud within Hell in a Cell because you've built that feud for almost 2 months at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that feud was dead after. As far as I'm, the feud with Randy Orton should be dead. You got disqualified at SummerSlam and you lost it at Clash of Champions. That should be dead.
But also, they have not closed out the Revival Orton New Day feud.
Right. No, they haven't closed out the Revival New Day feud. Now they're just throwing Orton in it to throw Orton into it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough to say what they're going to do with the rest of Hell in a Cell. I mean, it's only a week away, and we've got 4 matches.
4 matches. You got Brian.
Yeah, we don't
Reigns.
have a SmackDown Women's title match yet, do we?
Yes, we do.
What, Charlotte and Bailey again?
I don't think that.
Oh no,
actually
you're right. No,
No, it's
they're
not.
SmackDown
And I don't.
match.
Is it going to be Bailey and Charlotte? Is going to be?
I think they're going to base Hell in a Cell around Raw. And that's the one thing I don't want them to do.
Yeah, especially with the draft coming after that.
The week after, yeah.
You think that they would be featuring both
Everybody.
brands. So I don't know, man. It's tough. It's a tough call because with only a week of build-up, shit, actually less than that.
Yeah,
when
we
you're
don't have
talking
tag
SmackDown.
team championship matches at all.
Nope.
Neither one.
That's what I'm saying. Like you're going to see the Revival and Randy Orton versus the New Day.
No,
They're
I
gonna
get
have
that,
some
but
fire.
you haven't advertised any kind of tag team match. You haven't advertised.
You haven't just shit for Fox.
You haven't advertised a
SmackDown.
women's SmackDown match. You haven't advertised a women's tag match, an IC title, which is looking like it's shaping up to be Shinsuke versus Ali. Who has AJ has the U.S. title.
Yep.
See, that is how much they care about those mid-card titles.
No, but like what?
He's more of a character fan than most of us that are on this show, and he doesn't. It took him a minute to remind him who the U.S. champion is.
Right, but like the OC's not involved in Hell in a Cell right
Nope.
now.
So they do have a couple matches for SmackDown on Fox, the go-home show, essentially before. They have Becky and Charlotte.
You mean
versus-
the premiere show?
Right.
The
Versus
premiere go home show. This should be awesome, guys.
Becky and Charlotte versus Sasha and Bailey.
Which they
and
did
then
last week on Raw.
Brock and Kofi.
And they
Those
had the
two.
ladder match.
And the ladder match. And they also have
What ladder match?
Kevin and Shane. It has been made official for next week's SmackDown.
Oh, so that's not Hell in a Cell.
Another.
I thought
Really?
for sure when he said that it was going to be
They
a Hell in a
they
Cell.
announced that today.
I read today is for SmackDown.
It's for SmackDown.
Yep.
For the premiere.
So you're not going to have Shane and Kevin on it. You're probably not going to have Bailey or
Sa-
Charlotte, and you're probably not going to have Kofi or Brock
Nope.
or a title.
Which part of they're going to base Hell in a Cell around the Raw brand.
But
Smitty, I get it. It doesn't make any fucking sense.
But there's still,
Oh,
even if you're basing
I
it
agree
around
with
the
that.
Raw brand, there's not many more matches that you can come up with that actually make a whole lot of sense, and you're just kind of shoving them in there.
Last time I checked, the treat SmackDown like the beat show.
Yeah. We'll have to wait and see.
We got a week and a half to figure out what they're going to do here before they
Let's
slap together.
let's move away from WWE for a minute because it's goddamn a clusterfuck.
What is it not?
Next week, we are going to have a shit ton of wrestling. Monday, we'll have Raw. We all know about NXT on Wednesdays. We all know about AEW premiering on next Wednesday. We know about SmackDown premiering next Friday.
But what you don't know,
What you don't
didn't know?
is that Impact will be debuting on Access TV starting next Tuesday. It's not going to be a live show on Tuesday. It's going to be Impact Homecoming. They're gonna play that on Tuesday. Then on the 8th is going to be Rebellion. On the 15th is Slammiversary 17. On the 22nd, they're going to do an Impact special, like introducing the brand, whatever. And then
Bound for Glory's in October, so
their first live show is October 29th.
yep, right before.
That is smart as fuck.
Yeah.
It's right after Bound for Glory.
Here's a bunch of our big shows for you guys to get acquainted with our talent.
And that's right, and their first live show is right after Bound for Glory, which is
Wh-
their
which
WrestleMania.
is perfect. Which would be their, I mean,
Their
since
WrestleMania.
we're into premieres, that would be their season premiere.
Yep.
That's not bad. And is 205 Live still on Tuesdays then?
205 Live is officially moving to Friday nights at 10.
Oh, so that puts
So
them
I'm
on.
still not
so,
gonna watch it.
Also Friday. Also think about Friday, or was it Friday or Saturday? Where Wow and New Japan are also on Access.
Let me tell you how excited Allie is for this new wrestling schedule.
Oh, I know. My girl is too. She's writing it all down and fucking flipping me off. at the same
I was like,
time.
hey, guess what happens next week? And she goes, what? I go, Monday, Wednesday, or what was it? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. She goes, what? I go, wrestling. She goes, fuck you. Sorry.
Well, get her in a while because I think she'll
Well,
probably.
no,
be more
but
interested in that.
here's the cool part about us moving to Sundays is I don't have to make sure I watch Raw and SmackDown before I come in on Wednesday.
Right.
I could literally wake up Saturday morning and catch up on all of it.
On all of it.
Yeah, you goddamn.
But then I can't
9 to
talk to you
5 and
fuckers
shit.
during the week because shit will be spoiled.
Exactly. Or go on social media.
Yeah, well, that's easier than not checking our chat.
Okay, so AEW is going to be debuting next Wednesday. There's been a couple matches that have been announced for that already. What were they? Let's see.
We got the Elite versus.
I got it all written
All right,
down. I got it
gotcha.
all. We got MJF and Brandon Cutler, Nyla Rose and Rio for the first ever AEW Women's Champion.
Can we talk about that real quick? Because
Hold on.
Okay.
The Young Bucks and Kenny Omega against the newly crowned AEW World Champion Chris Jericho and two mystery partners, LAX. Cody
You mean
Rhodes.
PNP?
Sorry, PNP. Cody Rhodes versus Sammy Guevara. John Moxley. John Moxley is going to be there. Adam Page versus Pac. That's next Wednesday, TNT, 8 o'clock. There's going to be replays of this. I saw at least 4 or 5 different replays throughout the week on TNT, TBS. I want to say True TV is going to be replaying.
True TV because they're on that same network.
Okay. Now, Smitty, go ahead. Nyla Rose and Riho.
So the Nyla Rose Riho thing, last week when they had the whole Fatal 4-Way for number one contenders, when they
You
said
guys look like Siamese twins on camera right now.
So I was watching. So before this match came about, I was reading on social media, and it said in 2 weeks, the winner of this match gets to go at Shayna Baszler for the women's side. I'm like,
what?
So on social media announced
Okay.
last week that the winner of the Fatal 4-Way gets Shayna Baszler in 2 weeks. And I'm
No
like,
way.
No, they didn't announce in 2 weeks. They just said they get a shot at Shayna Baszler.
no.
Nyla Rose and Riho from AEW
There goes my point.
Shayna Baszler.
No, the winner of the Fatal 4-Way at NXT last week.
Uh-huh.
They said in 2 weeks. So on social media, they said 2 weeks. It didn't say future. It said 2 weeks.
Uh-huh.
And that just happens to coincide with
talked
AEW's.
about this last week.
I wasn't here last week.
Well, then maybe you should show up. We
I'm
don't-
poor, nigga.
Well, listen, I'm never here either. We don't go in the past for me, so you don't get any special treatment. I don't care what color you are.
But you're not talking
I
about
said I'm poor.
Candice LeRae and Shayna Baszler.
Yeah, Candice LeRae and Shayna Baszler. It's counter. Like they literally set up the
it's
counter
along the
program.
Same line. Yeah. I
Do you
see
need
what
me to
you're saying.
translate for you so you can understand him?
Oh, because I said pansies instead of pussies on the chat.
So you're saying that it's comparable to what NXT is?
No, it was 100% a counter program to
Yeah.
what they're doing for their inaugural show.
Yeah.
Candice LeRae is a very over woman inside the NXT on the NXT brand. Shayna Baszler is the champion, and she's a dominant champion. Them putting that women's match on the same night as AEW's inaugural women's championship. It was it was just surely pure counter programming at that point.
Okay, so Shayna Baszler versus Candice LeRae or Nyla Rose versus Riho. Which one would you rather see?
Honestly, and I won't even lie to you because I want to be optimistic about AEW, but I would rather see LeRae versus Baszler.
Yeah.
I'd rather see LeRae versus Baszler because honestly, I really feel like AEW is going to pull the publicity stunt of letting
I do too.
a trans man, woman, whatever the fuck you want to call it, him, her, it, whatever.
That's what she is, a trans woman.
Yep.
This is not whatever you call it. Like, that's what she is.
Fuck it. I'm not as sensitive as all the fuck you rest some pussies. So,
Why are the most inappropriate?
See what happens when he's drunk? It goes from pansies to pussies.
I'm not as sensitive as the rest of you pussies, but
Flowers to fish.
yeah, I'm not as sensitive as but it's gonna be a fuck up. I feel like AEW's gonna pull a publicity stunt. Just say we're different. We're gonna put our women's title on a man.
Okay, so I think that's fucked up. Here's why I think it's fucked up.
It's a good thing Joe's not here because he would be livid right now.
I would have agreed with you if we didn't go to StarCast. After watching that women's panel on StarCast, Nyla Rose, they should give her a microphone more often. Mm-hmm. She is actually really good on the mic. The only thing that gets me is everyone at the convention was talking how good of a wrestler she was, and I was like, she's not that good. She's not that good at all. But she is very good, so I could see her like as a champion if they gave her the mic more. Plus, she'd be a great heel champion to like just kick it off. Like she would be the first ever, and then you move on and get away from it.
Well, if that's the case, give her a mic. You should have given her mic way more time than this going into this.
You know, I agree with you, but it's a little different with AEW before they go live on TV because the only people you hear from all the time are like you have to follow the YouTube channels, and Nyla Rose isn't really on those unless it's like Brandy Rose talking about the women's division.
Right.
So there hasn't really been an outlet for
It's been
her
Elite,
to be
MJF,
now, yes,
and
she
Sammy
could
Guevara.
be like every other one of those superstars and do her own thing on social media, which
Rhea's been
probably
featured.
wouldn't have hurt her cause at all. But she doesn't really have a platform right now. So when we go to TV, if she does become the first women's champion of AEW, then maybe they'll give her a microphone, and we're gonna come back here in like 3 months, and Spinny's gonna be like, you know what? Now that was really good on the microphone. Like, yeah.
Well, the funny is, I watched some of the interviews from StarCast and stuff, and all that good stuff, and I realized he is good on the microphone. But I'm not looking at things through like I always look at things from a broader perspective because I watch so much wrestling. But then once again, I still have to look at things through a casual viewer's perspective.
But a casual viewer wouldn't even know that she's a transgender.
Yes, they would, because the one thing that brought Nyla
the
Rose
size
to
of her
the
fucking dick.
No, the one thing that brought Nyla Rose to the forefront is the fact that the AEW literally promoted. We have promoted the first transgender woman in professional wrestling.
Right, which is why we know about it. The casual fan, the guy flipping through the channels that turns it on unless they literally say it on commentary, he's not going to know. He's just gonna be like, well, it's a huge bitch. No, like seriously, like that's it. Like the casual fan is not gonna know. We know because we follow the announcements and the press conferences and all that shit. But the casual fan that just flipping through channels is never going to know unless they're told. Or I mean, they might have some suspicion because she looks a little bit bigger.
And I threw a picture of Aja Kong, Awesome Kong, and Nyla Rose, all three next to each other. And they're all big women.
Okay.
Well, and to Z's point, the average guy, period, is just going to be like you said, that's a huge bitch.
Right.
They're not going to think about, well, can I see her Adam's apple in there? No,
Right.
it's a big fucking chick.
Like, so. is that her clit hanging down the side of her shorts?
No.
Or? Damn.
My thing is, okay, cool. Good for transgender people. I'm all about that kind of equality. Do what you got to do. Live your best life as whatever you want to be. That's fine with me. But it seems too predictable. And that's what AEW is trying not to do, is be predictable.
So you believe Rio may win?
I don't think she will. I think Nyla is going to win. And for that reason, I don't want her to win. Should she be the champion?
So you don't want her to win because
it's too
because you know she's
predictability.
Going to win?
Yeah. Because
well, have we on the show said sometimes predictability is good, long it is the journey there.
Correct. That was always Chris's point, was that, or Orlando's point, was that it's wrestling. It's predetermined. So a lot of times we already know what's going to happen, but it's the
journey,
the story.
Yeah.
To getting me from point A to point B is what you have to suspend your disbelief.
It's like being a man that loves pussy but still loves legs more.
But what I don't understand is all these wrestling fans, right, are griping about Nyla Rose being a transgender female and winning the title, but the whole concept of wrestling is suspending your disbelief. So why is it so hard for you to believe that she could be champion?
That's a good point.
I don't think it's at that point you're not just suspending belief. You're just saying like this is obvious. This is evident truth. Well, this is at one point was a man. She still has the strength of a man. She still has the physical prowess of a man in a women's division. It's at that point you're not suspending disbelief. You're actually just going into evident truths. We had this conversation at one point, like, oh, even the best MMA women's fighter, could she stand up to a man fighter in her same weight class?
That's a little different. That's actual fighting. This is like predetermined. Like I'm not saying wrestling is fake, but it's predetermined and it's choreographed. You know what you're going to do before you do it. So you cannot compare the two sports now you can compare them as far as what is believable, but as far as like what actually goes on, yes. A trans person that became a woman that wants to fight women in the octagon, I don't know about that because that's the octagon and they're actually fucking hitting each other. Yeah. Whereas wrestling is an art form. That's why in wrestling you get intergender matches. Right. Whereas in UFC they never.
Not everywhere.
Okay,
but still, you get
it happens. You see it. We saw one over StarCast weekend, or we were going to. But my point is, it's again wrestling. You're suspending your disbelief, like you're buying in. You have to have an imagination at least to enjoy it. So I don't understand why like you have such a problem with it, and you can't compare it to other combat sports where they actually hit each other full force.
Jesse said, as a casual watcher of wrestling, I didn't know she was trans. I did think she was a huge bitch.
Point and case, everybody. It's a huge bitch.
Okay, so we can be done with that. We've all got our opinions on that and the thoughts and views expressed.
But once again, I have nothing against Nyla Rose.
Podcast Detroit. Huh?
I really have nothing against Nyla Rose.
I don't really either. I really don't. I just wanna. If she wins, I'm not mad about it. But I just feel like it's way too early in the game for AEW to be showing these. She should chase it for a little while. Let the casual fan learn that story of her transgender. Use it to your advantage. But like to the average Joe that's going to tune in next week that may not have watched Double or Nothing, Fighter Fest, whatever, and just now knows of Nyla Rose, they may not buy into that. I could be very,
But also,
I very well be wrong. But
as a trans woman, she's not going to be want to be recognized as the first ever transgender women's champion. She's just going to want to be known as the first women's champion.
That's true.
And also,
that is true.
You're talking about having people chase. What's better than having Nyla Rose win it? Everyone's already mad that she's going to win it, so fuck it. Give it to her anyway. Give her the mic. Turn her heel and build your baby face that way.
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
So to that point, I'm gonna give kudos to AEW for putting controversy around this title.
Mm-hmm.
I may want to see Candice LeRae versus Shayna Baszler more on Wednesday, but I'm also to the point where it's like there's so much controversy around the AEW women's title going into their premiere. You still want to watch that.
Motherfucker. Yeah. I just realized no matter what, on Wednesday I'm going to be up till like midnight watching wrestling.
Yep, probably even later than that.
Fuck that.
But am I right? The intrigue around the whole concept of the AEW women's title gives you interest in it.
I'm going to be completely honest with you. I really don't care who wins that match. I'm just saying your point of why you don't want her to win the match is kind of barbaric. I didn't say I didn't want her to win. I said I would. You basically were like, if she wins, I'm going to be pissed. What does that mean?
I don't know. I'm not 100% in Joe's wheelhouse. I'm not going to say that I would not rather prefer Rio win. I actually would, but I would not be pissed if Nyla won. That's my whole point.
Okay. So again, let's move on from that because we don't have very much more time. We're
moving on from chicks with dicks.
We're gonna cut it a little short.
Wow! Right after I say chicks with dicks, you're talking about circumcising her. Good job, buddy.
So
is she Jewish?
It's not a circumcision if they cut the whole damn thing off.
Don't forget Smitty's Meats tonight. Promo code RAPE. So,
ouch.
With AEW coming to broadcast TV next week.
Wednesday Night Wars.
Warner Media's Brett Weitz is reporting, and it was from The Wrap, which is a website that talks about entertainment, TV news, sports, that kind of thing. They're currently in talks with AEW officials about doing a studio show. AEW Executive Vice President Cody Rhodes recently revealed that the company is considering a third hour of weekly content, which could air on Bleacher Report Live.
Like being the elite?
Cody didn't confirm, but it was speculated that this third hour would be in-ring content. Now it looks like this third hour could be an AEW studio show. With that being said, later on this afternoon, it was confirmed that AEW Plus subscriptions are going to debuting exclusively on Fight TV. So, in available countries, for $4.99 a month, you'll be able to watch AEW Dynamite on a weekly basis.
Live. Because they can't do a live feed for free, so they have to charge something due to the ads or whatever.
As well as exclusive programming, including behind-the-scenes footage. There will also be a weekly a la carte option for $2.99 more that provides even more options for consumers.
Oh, see what I read was you could get the $4.99 subscription or pay $2.99 per episode, which is dumb not to get the subscription at that point.
Well, that's kind of the way Bleacher Report kind of works anyway. You can pay like $2.99 per whatever and whatever per prescription.
So right,
or is that Fight TV we talking about?
We're talking about Bleacher Report. You can do that too.
Okay, so
we're
talking
about Fight TV, right. But you can do it on both.
Okay.
With that being said,
I have Bleacher Report. That's why.
To me, that says AEW is getting into streaming services right off rip.
Well, they have to at this point because Impact has one, WWE has one, New Japan has one.
Yeah, but they don't have.
Ring of Honor has one.
Not as big.
They don't have their own, and it sounds like right now they're only doing it so they can reach out to the fans across the world because on their current platform, not everybody gets it.
Right,
but
it's a start.
That's my point.
Well, and they're making it costly for everybody. So
But that's my point. Like, there's like everybody, all the major places have a streaming platform. AEW being a new place, they don't have that platform. So using Bleacher Report and Fight TV is a good way to keep them in the game with streaming service.
It's actually kind of weird that they don't, because with all the build and everything they do via like YouTube and stuff, like it's surprising they don't have some kind of streaming network in the works.
Right.
I think they probably do have something like that in the works, but nothing is set in stone. They don't have all the paperwork and
I guess they probably want to see if
T's and
this
I's.
is gonna,
Yeah.
sink or swim first, and then
Right.
come with the network.
Okay, so with that being said, with them piggybacking off of Fight TV and Bleacher Report Live, how long does it take for AEW to get their own streaming service running it themselves? No need for Fight TV or Bleacher Report.
year and a half too.
Z?
Yeah, I'm thinking if they have a successful year, they start. I mean, I'm gonna be completely okay. So they probably already have some kind of workup,
Some layout
of what they want to do, but they're not going to release it until they know they're successful enough to release it.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say they have to do good numbers for about a year before they even think about it. So about 2 years.
Okay.
I said year and a half too for the same thing. I think they probably have it like because everybody already has that format.
I mean, because look, even the viewing numbers for All Out were down compared to Double or Nothing. So you got to kind of let the high and the low come in and kind of see where your median is and go from there.
So, with that being said, you're paying for the WWE network. Are you going to pay for AEW too?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
I would, because like honestly, outside of the fact that next week, within the next 2 weeks, I will be paying for the whole WWE network because I finally got a chance to glimpse at it because my cousin bought it.
I mean, where I'm at right now, I might cancel my WWE network. I can watch all my wrestling on Hulu, even the second hour of NXT. When watching it on replay, jumps right into the second hour. You don't have to switch over to the network.
It's on Hulu.
So no Hulu and Hulu plays both hours.
Yeah, so it literally
It play both hours.
When I watched it back on Hulu, you know how like they show Roddy at the top of the stage and then it does the little like sign off thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't do that on Hulu. It jumps right to the next match, and I mean it literally like
it jumps
right
to
to the next
hour
match.
Two.
And then we watch all the pay-per-views at B-dubs. So I really don't need it.
Do you find yourself missing out on anything when you see Raw or SmackDown, like the condensed versions?
On Hulu, yes, Raw a lot.
Yeah.
All right, so I
miss about an hour and a
record.
half.
I have the Hulu with the
Live.
I have the Hulu Live, no ads, advanced DVR. What I signed up for the bundle when it was real cheap.
Oh, so you signed up for one was like $60.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, it's like about $60. A little bit more because I added some other add-ons, whatever. So yeah, it's about $60. But I record the live version, and then I just watch the live version back.
Gotcha.
So I don't ever. I mean, there are times I catch it, but I come on the show and we don't talk about anything I missed. So I assume I didn't miss much.
Okay.
But somebody who watches I just have basic Hulu with no ads, which is like $12-13. I watch condensed version as like they take it down like 2, maybe 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of stuff I missed. When I first started doing it, I realized there was a lot of stuff I missed going on the show.
The condensed version of both shows is an hour and a half.
Sometimes it's 2, depending on what's going
it's
on.
not. It's an hour and a half. Like if you go on Hulu, like Raw airs Monday night. If you go on Hulu at 6 a.m. Tuesday when that new episode hits on Hulu, it's an hour and a half.
Well, going back to my point, there's a lot of stuff that when I start doing it that way, there was a lot of stuff I missed. So I had to start going to YouTube and going to third-party platforms to find out what I missed.
Yeah, because you kept missing like the Fashion Police and shit.
I
right?
missed a lot of Fashion Police stuff, and I missed the first 2 Firefly Fun Houses.
Damn.
So,
which that's another bullshit thing that I. So NXT goes on air, like goes live, and they totally just killed Tyler Breeze Fandango versus the Forgotten Sons. Like that was like the biggest feud leading up to like the premiere, and then I haven't seen it on either week.
I feel like they just kind of they rushed to close that one because
They didn't
had
close
some-
it though. They were supposed to have a match, and then it went live. They never closed out that feud, and they haven't done anything. with it since.
I think right now, once they go live to the 2 hours after this whole was Mr. Robot, whatever the fuck this show Suits. After Suits
the
is done,
finals tonight, guys. I gotta get home and watch it.
so when the Soul Suits thing is, I think they're gonna go ahead and try to carry on some of that.
So is that the plan? Like next Wednesday, they're live for 2 hours.
2 hours.
Yep.
On USA.
Yep. On USA.
It was only because of Suits.
Because of Suits. That's the only reason.
Let's get our feelers out there so that way when they go live, we're already kind of established. What fucking pricks.
Yeah.
Good job though.
All right, so
That's the one thing we did. We talked about that already.
with that being said, this will be the last thing, and then we're going to go.
You keep saying that we're still
I know. But I
Oh,
really want to
we're-
talk about this. This was because as soon as I said this before the show, it piqued both your interests. Oversaturation of wrestling. Is there such a thing right now? Because starting next week, I counted it out. At most, you're looking at 13 to 15 hours a week.
More
of
than that.
wrestling.
That's a bullshit
More
line.
than
You
that.
throw in
No.
a takeover and like a
That's
big
what I'm-
four. That's
so you're talking
13 hours right there.
16, 17
And I'm talking.
hours, maybe.
more. I'm talking. That's being bullshit on that because like there's more shit than that because like Access and all demand services.
I'm talking about.
No,
this
he's
is what
talking
I'm
about weekly programming.
broadcast TV. 3 hours for Raw, 2 hours for Impact, 2 hours for NXT, 2 hours for AEW, 2 hours for SmackDown. That right there is 9 hours.
Okay, no. Look, at that point, what Access don't what's Impact going to Access? You have an hour of WoW. You have an hour of New Japan, which is
I'm
also
talking about
Okay,
just
but we're talking
normal
network television,
network
TV.
shit
Okay.
like casual.
Okay,
Hold on.
stop because like at that point, where is Impact going?
I'm not talking about the shit you watch. I'm
No,
talking
we
about
said
like
Access Television.
I'm talking about just me as Joe fan. I got 3 hours of Raw, then 2 hours of Impact, 2 hours of NXT, 2 hours of AEW, 2 hours of SmackDown Live. That's
11 hours.
11 hours. No pay-per-views. Then
So
you
now
talk about
throw in 3 hours takeover.
14 plus 3 hours of a WWE pay-per-view.
If it's if it's a big four, it could start at 6 and end at midnight.
17.
Okay, but
18,
if you want to include
19
Impact,
hours.
you want to talk about Impact pay-per-views are usually on Saturdays, and they usually run about 2 or 3 hours as well.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
and
you're
then-
not even thinking about
And
that.
then hold on. And then if you do a crossover where AEW and NXT are on the same Saturday or even Impact, they add
NXT
another
UK.
3-4 hours to the
So
mix.
you're talking somewhere between
Damn near 20 hours.
20 and 30 hours of wrestling in 1 week. And there's going to be, I would say, at least 10 weeks out of the year that you'll hit 30 hours.
We need more sponsors. People pay us to do this, please.
Is there such thing as too much,
Okay,
Smitty?
I have so my opinion on that is like there is a thing is too much, but there's also a fact like where we do this to where we are sometimes we're obligated to kind of watch as much as we can,
Kind of obligated to watch.
but there's also like say the casual fan where you can pick and choose what you want to watch. There's so much out there. I watch a lot of wrestling. I've been watching Impact for a while, for a long time. I've watched Ring of Honor for a while. I dip and dab out of New Japan. I've watched WWE.
He dabs.
But there's a lot of wrestling out there, and I put a post on our page with the schedule of wrestling that's coming out, and it's just this is a great time to be a wrestling fan because you can pick and choose what you want to watch, pick and choose what you like, pick and
Okay.
choose what is the best.
I agree with him that it is a great time to be a wrestling fan. It is a horrible time to be a wrestling podcast or a wrestling reporter, a wrestling writer. And you do bring up a very good point. As a fan, if I can just sit at home and watch whatever, whenever I want to, this is great. I have so many different options. Oh, I don't like this. I can go to the next one. But with us doing this, you feel obligated to at least, at the very
keep up with
least,
some of it.
read the cliff notes so you come on air and try and act like you know what you're talking about. But it's approaching the number of hours I spend working.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
wrestling, and I got a 40-hour week doing this while a 40-hour week doing that.
I'm lucky if I spend that much
Honestly,
time at home away from work awake.
On our show, I
Right.
think we can break down certain things to certain people as correspondents.
And you're absolutely right. I pick NXT. You guys figure out the rest.
I'll do Impact myself.
Okay, so think about this. I'm
Fuck you, but I love NXT. That's why.
not a noob wrestling fan, but I'm somebody that's getting back into it. I think of it like I go to Baskin Robbins, and they've got 30 fucking flavors, and I'm like, oh, 31. Sorry. And I'm like, you know what?
Smitty.
Fuck it. Just give me chocolate. Are you gonna see people that are like, wow, I have all these options. This is great, but you know what?
yes, it's going to be that person.
That's
Hold on.
too
hold
much.
on.
I just want to
First of all, you always got to go with the swirl. Swirl's
yeah.
where it's
Okay,
at.
sure. Which would be WWE NXT.
But no, you have a very good point there because you have so many options that you're like, oh, this is overwhelming. Just give me that.
Give me what I know.
Give what you know.
But a lot of people know the Attitude Era. That's why like we get all this nostalgia pop for like Stone Cold coming back or The Undertaker coming back, or I mean the season premiere of Raw is gonna have Flair and Hogan.
Yeah.
I don't even care at this
Right,
point.
yeah.
Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, like two of the biggest icons ever
in the industry,
but I don't care.
Yeah.
I really don't care.
Well, also to that point, like you also have those jaded fans that have watched WWE for so long, they've been looking for alternative.
Joe.
And now the alternative is out there and in the open.
Yep.
All right, I've watched WWE since the late 80s, literally since I was born. And then
Early 90s for me,
once
though.
I got into wrestling, I went back. You start here and you're like, oh, Coliseum Video and Chill.
Mm-hmm.
Like I went back and I'm a bit of a wrestling historian. And I like what's going on, and it's creating a lot of opportunities for people that wouldn't have opportunities other than getting the exposure, going from town to town. Like people can actually get on TV now much easier because there are many different options of wrestling companies.
Yeah.
But again,
and NWA is actually going to be one of those big ones.
It is a bit overwhelming. And with all this wrestling, you have to assume that, okay, this is business. So there's 5 different brands right now.
Big brands. Not
the big brands are
There's
4.
5 different brands.
Yeah.
Do you
4.
got to imagine
5, yeah.
2.5 of those are going to fail?
Yeah.
No, maybe 1.5. Because one,
I'm just going
one
with
is
the
across
standard
seas.
50%.
Okay.
Now, right today, no. But in a year or two from now, it's quite possible.
Like I say,
And you forgot 205 Live, so that's
Yeah.
another fucking hour.
Fuck, man. All
and
right.
so once again, the whole rule about 205 is like depending on how 205 does over the next couple months, they may be infusing with NXT.
Sure.
So that's the reason I didn't bring them up.
Had another hour for UK.
That one I didn't.
The bottom line is there's as much wrestling out there starting next week as there is for my outside work life when I'm not sleeping.
It's a great thing, but it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah. I'll be quite honest, I won't be able to keep up with it every single week. Not when
I'm
you're
getting
talking about all these
married in
pay-per-views
February, and I'm already looking forward to my divorce because of wrestling.
When you get
Like,
married,
it's literally going to be like the end of my relationship.
if there is a
it
pay-per-view
won't.
on the day you get married, like an NXT takeover or something
We
like
would
that,
not have
you
a show.
need to make sure that you have a big fucking screen up.
Already got it handled.
Okay, cool. Perfect. With that being
No, it
said, shout out to Trevor Kelliam. Is that Kelliam? Kellum in Johnson City, Tennessee.
Oh, we got my Tennessee niggas
Got
out here.
those southern motherfuckers.
We got some
down
southern
there.
niggas out here. Like, we got them southern niggas out here. How you doing?
All right. Anyway,
What it is?
we're gonna go. You can catch us next Sunday, October the 6th, 11 a.m. Same spot you always do. We're not gonna
Same
be here.
BDR time.
That's
same
right.
BDR,
No,
but
we're
it's
not.
only different.
We're not a BDR time either, dude. We're 11 to 1.
We will not be here next week because this is our last Wednesday show. So
Can we
next-
give a little small eulogy for our Wednesday spot?
Oh, shit. Hold on.
what?
I was saying, let's give us like a quick 30-second eulogy, but now he goes like, hold on. For our one-day spot.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm glad we called you all here today because today
the Black Preacher. I wanted
is
the Black
day.
Preacher. Shit.
Oh, remember, pull a slick Rick.
I just want to do Black Preacher for this one. Can I do Black Preacher?
And I am the thunder, and I will be talking on Sundays.
And with our new move to Sunday from 11 to 11 a.m. I'm talking 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Sunday. We, the BDR cast, we will be moving. It's only right. And now, Reverend Brother Jackson Smitty, will be giving us a toast. Now,
let me get back in the camera.
We shall, for our last Wednesday,
It's taking too long.
we're doing a shot to our move to Sundays.
Here's to everybody reaching out to us on Sundays starting October 6th.
October
on
6th.
Sundays we can only have bread and wine, so we got to do whiskey now.
That's right.
Fuck that. I ain't gonna be to church in 2 years.
Your mom's listening.
All right. Cheers.
Shit. My mom and my grandmother, apparently.
We'd like to thank everybody for listening tonight. Final Wednesday show. Check us out Sunday, October 6th, 11 o'clock. Show up to B-Dubs that same night for the Hell in a Cell viewing party. We'll be there. No cover. Family friendly. 6 o'clock at the Buffalo Wild Wings in downtown Detroit on Randolph Street. Smitty's going to be there with all the meat. We are your
And the Reverend.
That's R, the number 4 PE.
We are your ring crew.
Z. I like transgenders and I don't rape people. So
The Reverend SMI-TTY Smitty.
And the all Nikki one.
I was honestly hoping you would go back to the Nicochet one.
I change it up every week.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, my nicka.
But I've been waiting for you to use the Nicochet one again.
I'm gonna call him my nicka. Say
only.
Say one day he's gonna point to him and go, my nicka.
I want to, but I don't know what the repercussions could be with that if I call myself and
No, I'm calling you it.
Okay.
So
Well, it's 2 C's, so you're fine.
Nicka?
As long as there's not an ER in there, you're pretty solid.
as long as he's holding out in trouble.
Your friendly neighborhood Nicka.
There you go.
There you go.
We are out.
I approve.